Hey, welcome back, Phenomenons. This is Frank. So listen, we're going to talk about a little bit of the interface changes happening inside Suno. We're going to jump right in. So here we are inside Suno, inside a workspace called New Interface, and we have a single track in here. And just from the actual track, you can see kind of these little circular icons, right? Similar icons, except they're in a circle now that kind of make it stand out. It might be in preparation of Suno Studio, so we'll just have to see if that's indeed the case. Now, here we have the icons, the like button, pretty much the same, the dislike button. You also have the pinned icon, right? So if you click on it, what it does is it'll pin the track up at the very top if you're working with multiple tracks. So let's go ahead and unpin that. And then we have the shared button right here. Now, this is something that's underutilized. Definitely if you're looking to grow your actual like social media channel, your client's social media channel, or just a following, just in general, right? You can actually like come up with a really cool song you want to share. This is a good way to create a post, use the link, and then get them to follow you. Well, you know what? Let's kind of just check it out. So if I click on this actual link, you're going to see down here, it says copy song link to clipboard. So if I go right up here and I go to incognito, right? I can go in here and Control V or Command V if you're on a MacBook, okay, or on a Mac. And what's going to happen is your actual song, right, that you have been working on that you want to share is going to show up right in here. Now, you don't even have to register in order to do this. On top of that, like after like 7 seconds, 10 seconds, you're going to get a window pop up, kind of just reminding any of your users that, hey, you can sign up. You could create music just like this for free, and they can sign up under your link, which is pretty cool. So a lot of cool stuff happening here inside Suno, right, that you may not know about. So check those out. All right. Now, the one thing that's also missing in here is the actual comment section. Now, the comment section didn't go away. Now, I always talk about different ways or different tools that you can utilize to kind of keep track and dibs on all of the different music creations that you create. And sometimes it can get a little bit kind of crazy, right? So you have playlists, you have workspaces, you also have this like folder. You know by now that Suno creates a kind of a default like folder. So anytime that you like, right, this is automatically going to get put into that playlist folder. But comments is always really helpful because for me, I was using it as notes, even though I wasn't publishing the actual file or so on and so forth, right? And so you can still visibly have access to the actual comment section. But before, this used to be right in here. And I wish it would go back. Also, and or maybe get some note section by Suno so that we can actually write notes, because it would be very helpful to be able to say, hey, you know what, on this track, this was great about it, this was great about it, and this was great about it. Now, the other cool thing is take a look at my mouse, right? The pointer of the mouse. You got a little arrow, right? Just like your typical mouse. And then if I hover over the actual track section, you're going to notice a hand kind of come up, where if I press down and hold down on the left button of my mouse, okay, now I can grab. And so once I can grab and drag, right, I got an option to drag it right here into the remix area or the inspiration area. And then once you do that, you're going to have an actual drop down that'll give you the options to complete this task here. So you have cover, you have extend, you have add vocals, add instrumental, and use style and lyrics. Okay, now for this example, we are just going to exit right back out of here. Okay, I'm going to refresh the page. And then the other kind of things that are kind of just standing out, well, they put the credits just as they are down here. They put the credits right up at the very top. They also, just as I mentioned, there's two ways to generate music, right, to get started. You got the simple way, the custom way. And as you guys know, I always preach, hey, always use the custom way, right? Because that's going to give you more control of the music that you generate. And then right here is the different versions, kind of based off of whether or not you're using a free version or an actually paid version. So I'm a paid user. I have a pro account. I get 2,500 credits each month that refill, right, for paying $10 a month. And you can also go Premier. You can also pay the annual, right, and kind of discount that or get you a better deal there. And so just know that the actual music interface right here, this is kind of your music generator interface right here. It's going to change depending on whatever version that you use. Now, I caught something that I think is a glitch, and this is day 2, so maybe it's changed and I haven't been in here since, so we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. But version number 4, okay, what you might be wondering too is here we have all of the really cool built-in features like audio, persona, inspo, okay, based off of the actual pay plan versus a free plan. If you click right here to the versions, if you're on a free plan, the best you could do right here is actually use a free plan up to version 3.5, okay? And you're gonna be limited, okay, with the amount of music that you can create. You can generate only up to a 4-minute song. Okay, whereas opposed to a pro plan, right, you can generate up to an 8-minute song, which is pretty cool, right? And then same thing goes for uploading music or recording, okay? And then of course you got your persona, you got your inspo, okay? And then here are the different areas where you'll actually go in just like normal, right? And fill in these areas with your actual prompt. And here on a pro plan, right, you got this magic wand, so you can go in here and start creating lyrics and so on and so forth. We'll talk about that here in just a bit. And then you have this style section. Now, the one thing you don't see in the style section here under Pro is the magic wand, but the magic wand still exists. Once you start typing, you actually see that magic wand reappear. Now, on a version 3.5, you don't get the use of the actual magic wand. As a matter of fact, one great reason for you to upgrade up to 4.5 is, well, this is going to be maxed out at 200 characters on a free plan, okay, which is going to be very limited. So if you've ever messed around with AI generation, you know that the better the input, the more context you put into the input, the details, the better the output. And that's the exact same thing. So when you're limited right here inside Suno with just 200 characters, right, well, you're going to be limiting the actual just your whole general output of your music, okay? And so this is just something to know. So for example here, what's really cool about having a pro plan is if I go right in here, and let's just say I know right now I want to create a rap song, the vocal is going to be a female, let's see, high-pitched vocals, okay? And then maybe that's it. Maybe that's all I have right now, okay? Let's put head bopping beats, okay? And so if this is all I have, right, what you could do on a pro account is you could just simply fluff that up by just clicking on this magic wand, okay? In addition to that, you saw some other features come up like the undo button, right, the bookmark button, which is really save button. And what this does is this is going to save your entire prompt from the lyrics section all the way down. And it's supposed to do your title. Now, that's one of the things that I struggled with in the past, but you know, we'll see if that's what it does or not, but it pretty much just saves your entire prompt. And then of course you can go in here and kind of delete the section. And so as you can see, right, if I grab this little bar right here, hold down on my left button on my mouse and I drag down, right, you're going to see that we fluffed up this actual prompt inside styles. So now we have a punchy rap track with crisp, high-pitched female vocals delivering catchy hooks. The beat features snappy snares, and then so on and so forth, okay, which is super cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply copy this, okay. Now what I want to do is I'm going to just show you what a free version looks like. So if I go over to 3.5, look what it does. It cuts it off. And why does it cut it off? Because remember, I told you that the max characters you can use inside a free plan is going to be 200 characters. Okay. So here, what you would have to do in order to generate a really good prompt is you would have to use something like ChatGPT, a prompt generator, right? Put in the details and say, hey, the max I can be at is 200 characters, and then come back in here and paste it. You don't have this other option, though, kind of like a dangling carrot in front of a rabbit, right? It's still visible for you to think, hey man, I wish I could use this, whatever. Maybe this is a good reason to get you to upgrade. And I would highly say that it is. Now, if I scroll down here, the other thing, let me hop right back over to version 4.5 so that you see this here, because if I scroll down here and I select advanced options, you're going to also notice that there's excluded styles. What don't I want to show up in your actual music, right? You can put in here. This isn't changed. This is the same. Then you have your vocal gender selection. So you can go in here and choose male or female. And as I continue to scroll down, you got these really cool little sliders. Now, I love these sliders. Now, yes, I've said this in the past in the videos where I'm like, I hate these darn things, right? When they were first introduced and I didn't like them. But now let me tell you, anything that gives you more control over the music you generate, man, you gotta love it, okay? So play around with these. I got a separate video where I talk about, you know, different things that you can do and so on and so forth, but check it out. And then of course your style influence. Well, people get a little bit confused. Even sometimes I get confused, right? And so one of the questions you got to ask yourself, okay, what percentage of influence do you want to come from your styles area? Right in here. It's pretty much kind of how to decide whether or not what percentage you want in this. And then the other cool thing is right here, of course, you can slide it, you can adjust wherever you want, or you can double click on here, or I should say double click a second time and then it'll highlight it. And then you can go in here and enter the percentage. You can do the same thing here. Okay, I just double clicked it once. Now I'm going to double click it twice. And now let's just say I wanted to go to 80%, right? 20 and 80%. And there you go. You're all set. All right. So the one thing I wanted to show you is over here on the free plan. On the free plan, you wouldn't see that, right? That wasn't an option. But yes, I am actually on the free plan. And here you go. It might be just like the dangling carrot that we don't actually get to see is why it's here. But let me tell you, if I go right down here, I can't adjust these actual sliders. Okay, this is a little bit of a headache. So I'm going, okay, maybe they don't allow free users to be able to use this. But let me tell you, if you double click here, okay, and double click again, right, you're gonna highlight the percentage and you can go in here and set it to 25. Make sure you press enter in order for it to capture it. Okay, then same thing goes for here, right? Maybe I want to change that to 85%. And then you may be asking yourself, okay, yeah, maybe it does that, but does it actually apply it to the music generation? Well, I did. I actually tried it, and it was applying it to it. So I don't know if it was just kind of luck or what have you. I don't know if this is kind of a slip, a snafu, whether or not this is supposed to actually happen. I would imagine that it's not. But hey, more power to the free accounts if you're able to use this feature, okay? Now, a good way to find out too is when you click on your actual track right here, right down here, it tells you the percentage of weirdness that was applied to each individual track, and then also your style influence, which is pretty cool, all right? So that's a good way to check. All right, let's exit right back out of there. And then of course you've got your add a song title, and then of course you got your workspace folder. Okay, it automatically defaults to the one that we created and we started the project in. So now what I'm going to do is we're done with the free version. Okay, I'm going to go right back over to 4.5. Okay, it's going to try to keep everything the same as how we had it. Now what I want to do is I want to go right back over here. Okay, I want to hit Control V and repaste what I originally had in here. We're just going to work with that. I didn't really get a chance to read it so much. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want to just show you, once we go down here, what don't we want inside the actual music? Let's just, I don't know, let's just go ahead and put rap, right? Let's put male vocals. Let's just put that for now. Okay. And let's go ahead and select female. I'm going to go ahead and keep the percentage at 25% weirdness and 85% style influence. Now what I want to do is I want to hop on over to the lyrics section. Okay. We're going to go ahead and just kind of make this a little bit smaller here, go right up here to lyrics. Now, what I like about here, okay, it's a lot easier to kind of maneuver here through different sections, okay, but you got to remember a couple things. One is if you want a full view of the actual lyrics, go ahead and click on these little opposite arrows, okay, at an angle. If you click on these, now you're inside lyrics and you can mess around with these lyrics, which is great because anytime that I'm listening to the lyrics, I hate kind of messing around with the scrolls and so on and so forth. So it allows me to kind of zoom in, right, almost like it's under kind of the spotlight, and I'm able to just see things a lot better. Okay, and so here we go. Now, just like normal, right, in order to create lyrics, you can go ahead and click on this. It's going to give you two options. It's going to give you edit lyrics. It's also going to give you write full song. Okay, just like it used to do, right? You can go back in here and still pick that up and do this. Now here you just got to go in and describe your actual song. Okay, and then down here what you do is just pick the actual set of vocals, right? I'm sorry, the actual lyrics. Here you have the Remy and under beta, right? And it tells you right here, may generate content that some find offensive. And then of course your classic, okay? Now, once you generate, it's gonna give you two options to choose from. You pick the best option. Once you do, then what it's gonna do, it's gonna carry it over into your lyrics. Now, you could do it that way. You can also do it this way, right? You can also go right in here, go into edit lyrics. You can go right down here and let's just say, you know, create a song, create a rap song about a fat, bougie cat and who thinks she owns the place. Little does she know, she's on her 9th live. Okay. And so let's go right back over here and put fat bougie cat with an attitude, right? All right. And there may be a little bit of truth to this story. No, I'm just kidding. There's not. All right. So here we have just some basic lyrics. So now what you could do is you can just arrow up. Okay. Once you arrow up, it is going to do its best. You get in this little blurry effect. Okay, once you get this blurry effect, you know you're on track. Now, pay close attention to the actual track, right, as you do certain things, because what will happen is sometimes you'll just delete like all of the actual lyrics, okay? And you don't want to do that. If you do, don't forget you got the undo button. You can press on that and then it'll go right back. So here we have kind of a breakdown of the actual lyrics. You've got verse, you've got a chorus, okay? You got verse 2, and you got bridge, okay, chorus. Now, what I like about this too, I use a totally different tool that I created, right? That really kind of helps kind of everything lay out. There's a lot more details when it comes to the actual creating of style, the style of music. And again, if I wanted to go back and show you the style, I'd have to exit out of here, right? And then go right down here. Oh, then I have to click on this here, right? And then I can go right in here to styles. So I've got this tool that I generate that gives me more details into here, right here. And each one of these sections, as you guys know, the power of the style section is super powerful, right? Because this speaks to the advanced options section. It also speaks to your actual lyrics, right? So once you get kind of everything put together and you get it talking to each other, the actual output of the music is just phenomenal, right? Because again, you're having more control over the music you generate. So if I were to go right back over here to clear the lyrics here, the one thing that you can get used to too on trying, right, which is super cool, is once you do some lyrics, right? You actually do a generation, right? What you could do is you can go right in here and you can say, you know what, verse 1, verse 2, you know, I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here, highlight verse 2. Okay, I'm going to click right here on the magic wand, go to edit lyrics. Then I'm just going to erase this here. This is what I wish would happen, is I wish it would kind of erase. Maybe sometimes, maybe not, all right? Now, if I were to go in here and I said, keep lyrics in this section the same, but add ad-libs, okay? And then I go ahead and arrow up. For some reason, I can't enter, and then it'll take it. There you go. You got the blurry section happening again. And then you have, at the end, right, you have the actual ad-libs showing up, okay? And you could do the exact same thing for verse 2. So let's just say you go right in here, you kind of highlight this. You already have it already set. Now, remember when I said, oh, not really. I just wish it would delete automatically. And then I said, oh, not really. Well, because you can use this part again, right? So I can go in here and apply ad-libs to this verse, okay? And then this is really just kind of giving you more control over being able to say, hey, you know what? I want this changed out, or so on and so forth. So if, for example, I wanted to go right here to the bridge section, okay? And I said to myself, okay, bridge section, rewrite to more funnier emotional lyrics. Let's just say that, right? And I hit arrow up. Let's see what happens. Now, just remember it is the bridge, because what I've done here also too, through trial and error, is I had to go right back in and reassign the actual bridge part of that, okay, the actual bracket. So here it's kind of changed things out, right? So here we have, but life's not all glamour for a cat in culture. Couture, couture, couture. Okay, so if I click here, okay, you might be saying, hey, what was it before? I don't know. So let's go ahead and just hit the undo. And there you go. You see that it's different, okay? So I don't know. I didn't get to really pay attention the first time, so I'm just going to leave it the way it changed. But again, now you get the idea, right? You can actually go in here and kind of just control more of what you got. You can also, I've got a video that I talk about kind of the basics of understanding the use of brackets and parentheses, and I'll have that video show up right up here. And this too just kind of gives you an introduction as to how can you apply those extras right in here. So for example, in your bridge, if you wanted to add some instruments, whatever, you can hit the dash, you can press the dash. I like putting a space in between, and then just adding whatever music right in here playing as well. Okay, so just so you know. So go check out that video. Also, let's go ahead and just select create for now. And I am going to exit out of here for just a second. As a matter of fact, I don't think I actually put a title to this music song, so that's okay. Let's just call it Fat Cat for now. I've already put it in here, so it's putting some of the lyrics, I think, in here. All right, so now what I want to do is go right up here to the actual lyrics. I want to open this up so that we can take a look at it. Go up to the very top, okay? Now, here again, we have the ad-libs playing, so we're going to listen to the first one, and here we go.
Yeah. Yo, there's a cat in the house, think she's royalty. Strutting around the crib like a palace, totally. Chilling on the couch like she's queen of the throne. With a flick of a tail, she makes it known. Indulgent with the treats like caviar and cream. Chasing shiny things, living that dream. Bougie to the core with a stare so cold. But little does she know that a story's been told. Oh, fat bougie cat with your non-life spin. You roam through the rooms with your air of intent. But heed the truth, little feline of grace. This kingdom you got.
All right, so now what I want to do is I want to show you the second one. Typically, when you have two different variations, right, some will read the ad-libs better and then some will not. Some will go a little bit faster, some will go slower, right? So let's listen to the second one. Here we go.
There's a cat in the house, think she's royalty. Strutting around the crib like a palace, totally. Chilling on the couch like she's queen of the throne. With a flick of her tail, she makes it known. Indulging with the treats like caviar and cream. Chasing shiny things, living that dream. Bougie to the core with a stare so cold. But little does she know that her story's been told. Oh, fat bougie cat, with your 9 lives spent. You roam through the rooms with air of intent. But he, the truth, little feline of grace. This kingdom you got, your final embrace. Yeah. She'll nap in the sunlight, her realms and its gleam. Whiskers twitching in an elegant scheme. Thinking she's immortal, a diva so slick. Your fate has a plan, it's coming in quick. Watch out. Sipping on the milk like it's vintage wine.
All right, so you get the idea, right? The power that you have to just easily go in here and make some adjustments and so on and so forth, right? And the pretty cool interface that's happening. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hey, leave a like down below. Also, a comment as well. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit that bell icon. So anytime that I'm around and about, right, just kind of messing around with things and I'm creating a video, you're the first to know about it. All right, until next time, hey, I'm Frank with the Phenomenon. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one.